And now, City Manager David Knapp.
I want to thank you all for coming tonight. Welcome to the CREST Awards for 2009. A pleasure to see everybody here and to recognize some wonderful people in our community. It was Marian Wright Edelman said, "Service to others is the price you pay for living on the planet." I think it's more than that as well. It's certainly that. But in addition to that, service to others is what makes a city a community. And service to others is how we achieve our highest humanity and our greatest satisfaction. In fact, I think that the difference between childhood and adulthood is the realization that it really is better to give than receive. We start out as babies, completely selfish. Along around kindergarten, perhaps we make a Mother's Day card for mom out of yarn and macaroni, but our major thought is, look what I did. By about the 4th grade, you get introduced to ceramics, or at least I did, and you make some heavy, clunky object that you have to explain to your mom is actually a bud vase. And you get an inkling of what it might be to be of service and to give. And you don't really know about it till you fall in love, and then suddenly you realize doing something for this other person is the thing you want to do more than anything else. It gives you the highest satisfaction, and when you have a gift to give, you're bursting before you can give that gift. You want to give it early. The people in this room understand this, and they understand the secret that the quality of life is really determined by your ability to give to other people. It's what makes us truly human. They understand what Mother Teresa had in mind once when a reporter said to her, "You know, Mother Teresa, I wouldn't do what you do for $1 million. And Mother Teresa turned to her and said, "Neither would I." And now it's my honor to introduce a man who has given his life to service. He organizes events, plans them in the early stages, works the events, and he's the last guy you see coming off the field folding up the tents as the sun is setting and the stars are coming out. It's our own Mayor Orrin Mahoney.
Actually, you'll find out in a minute I'm not the last guy anymore, but I'll save that for a minute from now. You know, as a council member, this is one of the most fun and rewarding things we get to do all year. In order to keep us fresh tonight, we actually adjourned the meeting early last night, our council meeting at 11:30. So, you know, just to let you know that we had that in mind. I think, you know, some of you that saw the State of the City, where I talked about what makes a great city and some of the 5 attributes. One of those key attributes is leadership, and it's leadership beyond the government, it's leadership throughout the community. And today I have the pleasure of actually being at 2 events that really demonstrate that. Earlier today, there's a new program that the Park and Recs Department is putting on, a Leaders in Training program for the youth of the community, the teenagers, and I had a chance along with one of the other staff members to just do an interactive session where we kind of talked about leadership. And, you know, what a pleasure it is to see young people just starting out interested in leadership, interested in giving back to the community. And then, of course, tonight we have, you know, just a broad array of demonstrating leadership in all areas of the community. So it's great to see that leadership. It's what makes Cupertino great, and you'll certainly get a feel for that by the end of tonight. Let me start tonight with our first CREST Award recipient, and that's Tom Dyer, and I think we're going to start with a tape roll.
If there's a festival in town, and there usually is, you can bet Tom Dyer has a hand in it. This friendly, industrious volunteer doesn't limit his involvement to any particular group or activity. He spreads a wealth of contributions across the entire community. He works tirelessly on Cupertino's Fall Festival, planning the layout and helping to arrange logistics. He's also lent his expertise to the annual festival hosted by the Organization of Special Needs Families and pitched in for the Chamber of Commerce's Diwali Festival and Lights and for the Lunar New Year Parade and Festival. Tom is known for his ability to bring people together and inspire them to action. This is evident in his effort to create a community vision for the Stockelmeyer property. An active member of the Rotary Club, he leads by example, always helping with service projects such as the Blackberry Farm renovation, which required everything from building benches to installing a children's playground. And when the Rebuilding Together project recently zeroed in on the home of an elderly Cupertino resident, Tom was there to help make needed repairs and beautify the landscaping. Whatever the occasion or activity, Tom Dyer has a special knack for celebrating the life and times of his community.
Okay, Tom, come on up. So I remember exactly when and where I first met Tom. So as you heard our city manager speak, I kind of had that Mr. Festival label on me, and you've certainly heard that Tom has it on him. And it was the OSF Festival. It was the first year that Lee Way had decided to put together a festival to celebrate the organization of special needs families and work to communicate that. And she recruited, through her network, both Tom and I, both to help out with facilities. And we had never met before, and we're sitting down at this table, and we're down there as co-chairs of facilities. And Tom, looks over at me, because I had done some festivals before, the Oktoberfest and the Unity Parade. He goes, well, it looks like I'm going to be your assistant, And I stopped, and I thought, and I go, I got a better idea. I'll be your consultant. Thereby passing the responsibility to Tom. And that was the start of a great partnership. Tom and I worked on countless. I can't even think of how many festivals and other projects over the past years, in Rotary, outside of Rotary, whatever. So Tom is the go-to guy if you need anything to be done. He has I don't know if Carolyn's out there, my wife, he has the same problem I do. He doesn't know how to say no. But that's a great trait to have in a community volunteer. So Tom, we've got a couple of many awards for you. Starting with a nice plaque, and then we have certificates from Congressman Mike Honda, State Senator Joe Simidian, Assemblyman Paul Fong, and Supervisor Liz Niss. So, and that's your collection of great things, and it's now your turn to tell some stories about us.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, everybody. I feel very humbled, but I think I have the strength of character to fight it. This has really been a terrific ride. I found myself in a perfect galaxy working with Rotary, who happens to believe in service above self. But it is real, it's not just a label, and it's a lot of hands-on, and we've done a lot together, and we're going to do a lot more. So that's what it's all about, and we just look forward to the next ones. Thank you.
Okay, our next celebrant tonight is Barbara Juhl, and ready to roll tape there?
For several local service and nonprofit groups, the name Barbara Juhl brings two words to mind: chair extraordinaire. That's because Barbara is a downright diva when it comes to special fundraising events. Instead of simply delegating work, she gets involved in all aspects of an event, from creating the vision to selling the tickets. Last year, for the Fremont Union High School Foundation, she chaired both the annual fall fundraiser and the 9th annual crab feed. Her two daughters may have graduated from Monte Vista High, but Barbara's attachment to the district is ongoing. Today, she serves as an executive member of the foundation's board. Meanwhile, she holds the very appropriate position of social director for the Cupertino Rotary, which means she has a hand in all the club's fundraising functions. She worked on last year's golf tournament and Eastern Elegance event and was co-chair for a recent regional Rotary conference. If that's not enough, Barbara is a board member for West Valley Community Services, where she plays an active role in the yearly barbecue. She's a major contributor to the CEF Gala, and yes, there's more. She's expanded her volunteer work for the American Cancer Society. At a time when community service is being heralded across the country, Barbara Juhl needs no urging. She, in fact, has always been among the first to step forward.
Barbara, where are you? So yes, if you need something built, Tom Dyer's the guy. If you need something decorated, Barb is the person. Barb has helped out in so many ways in so many community projects, but my best story about Barb has nothing to do with a community project. And last year, based on all her expertise in putting events together, we asked Barb to help plan and manage our daughter's wedding. And the true test of how Barb can operate with poise under pressure and be unflappable was when one of the people, the wedding was in the Santa Cruz Mountains in a very nice place, and when one of the people, not a guest, got bitten by a rattlesnake. And Barb calmly, called 911, and we got the paramedics in there, and they carried the guy out while I was giving the toast, the merits toast. And everything went on, and the guy was fine and everything. But that was a true test. Barb is, just a great asset to any organization she's in, and I'm proud to be up here giving her the award.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you and this community, because without all of your support, I couldn't have done any of the things that I did. A special thank you to my family and friends, who I will still continue to call and ask, do you have anything going? So it's not over, and I'd like to thank you all, and it's been a wonderful community, and I'm grateful to have been honored. Thank you.
Well, given the awardees tonight, much as I'd like to continue and give all the awards out, I'm going to introduce Vice Mayor Chris Wang to come up and give the next two awards out.
Good evening, everyone. It's my great honor to present one of the CREST Awards to a group of 7 volunteers from our Cupertino Senior Center called Friendly Visitors. Let's look at the tape first.
For frail and lonely homebound seniors, a cheerful companion can be a gift from heaven. 7 such gifts appear each week on the doorsteps of 10 otherwise isolated elderly residents. The callers are part of the Friendly Visitors program from the Cupertino Senior Center. They bring sunshine from the outside world to one of the most vulnerable populations in our community. Last year, this dedicated group of volunteers contributed more than 600 hours working with clients from the Senior Center's case management program. Most of their activities are right in the clients' homes. Here, the Friendly Visitors play cards and games, read books, play music, watch movies, and most importantly, simply listen. The 7 Friendly Visitors all lead busy lives, enjoying a variety of interests and hobbies and lending time to other volunteer efforts as well. But they share 2 vital qualities, patience and understanding, that help them foster trust and create bonds with their homebound charges. Friendly Visitors keep at-risk seniors connected to their community and help them remain in their homes safely and independently. And along the way, these caring callers become much more than volunteer visitors. They become cherished friends.
So now I'd like to invite the 7 volunteers from Friendly Visitors. We have, should I call each one name? Yeah, go ahead, coming up. We have Dick Schuster, Opel Lemmer, Okay. We have 7 of them? Oh, right here, right. And Anna Paul here, Kushiro Shaki here, and Nashik Desat. We have 4 here. So the other 3 are not here today? Or they're coming up? Thank you, sorry. As you have heard from the video, the Friendly Visitors Program volunteers is actually require a lot of patience. And I want to mention just a little bit about the challenges or frustration that they have as the helping the homebound visitors. One thing they have to deal with is sometimes the client has memory loss. And so the volunteers have needed to introduce themselves repeatedly, and they also have to listen the same story many, many times. And so I don't know if I can do it. I really appreciate it. I know several of you have worked many, many years. We have the plaque. Even though we only have 1 today, but we will get 1 of each later on. Rick Kisson promised it. So each one of you want to say a few words, or one of you will represent? Okay.
I'll just say a couple of words. I have been involved in various kinds of volunteer work since I was a teenager, which is a lot of years. And I have to say, most of those have been rewarding, but nothing has been as rewarding and heartwarming as the Friendly Visitor Program. I was lucky enough to be matched with a woman who was born in 1910. We click just amazingly, and the stories and life experiences she's had are amazing. I feel so blessed by being part of this program and feel like I get so much more than I give, although she probably would argue with that. It's a mutual admiration society. It's a wonderful program.
The reason I'm up here is Karen Goss. I think she's here. I think I saw her before. She works at the senior center. She's a case manager, and she put this Friendly Visitors program together. And we've had a few meetings. I think we meet every month or so. And it's obvious when we get together that everybody is well matched to the person they're visiting. Anyway, thank you, Karen.
I'm not sure I fit the description of what the volunteers always do, because mostly I talk. I mean, some of the people I visit don't get out very much and don't have many experiences. Some do, but over the years, I've really talked a lot. And I've been doing this before Karen came for, I think, 11 years. So it's a long time.
Well, I'm pretty new at doing this, but I've really enjoyed doing it, and I am thankful to Karen for starting this up, and I appreciate all of your feedback and appreciation. Thank you.
I agree. I think the pleasure is because of Karen. Her excellent job of matching up. I really look forward to seeing my client, and she tells me that she looks forward to seeing me, and we really enjoy talking to each other. It's wonderful. Thank you, Karen.
Well, once again, we really appreciate all your help and services to our seniors, and I hope the program get enlarged. We'll get more volunteers to join you for it. All right. And the next CREST Award recipient I get to present to is Marilyn Howard. Marilyn.
She might carry a big red sign, but there's no stopping Marilyn Howard. In nearly 30 years as a crossing guard for the Cupertino Union School District, she has logged hundreds of miles on the job, shepherding young students back and forth across streets in busy school neighborhoods twice a day. Rain or shine, Marilyn is a fixture at the corner of Blaney Avenue and Clifford Drive. As she waits for her charges from nearby Eden Elementary School, she's easy to spot. Just look for the lady wearing the day-glow yellow vest, a whistle, and a big smile. A Cupertino resident for 50 years, Marilyn is reliable and conscientious, two qualities that make her an ideal guardian for the children of our community. Those are also traits that come to light in her volunteer work with the local chapter of the League of Women Voters. For more than 10 years, Marilyn has been dedicated to providing services to Cupertino voters. She produces candidate forums, orders and delivers voter educational materials, and encourages candidates to submit their information to Smart Voter, the League's nonpartisan website. As voter service director for the organization, she works tirelessly and takes her responsibility seriously. But that's not surprising. Just ask any kid at Eden School.
I guess you will agree with me. Without Marilyn's hard work and expertise, our voters, especially in Cupertino, would not have enough information to cast their informed votes. So thank you very much, Marilyn. I know you've been living in Cupertino for 50 years, and also Black leaders more than 50 years. Wow. Thank you. I don't know we waited so long to present this CREST Award, but I know you definitely deserved all this. There we go. This is class.
I am truly so blessed that so many of you, some people in the room that have stood by me these past 40 or 50 years or even more and make me look a lot better than I am. It's really about all of you, back to the early days of the Lutheran Church of Our Savior with Vacation Bible School and playground director. My pastor presently at St. Mark is in the back of the room, typically of all Lutherans who sit in the back of the room. And the early days of PTA, hot dog chairman, Ways and Means chairman. That didn't last very long because I did a book fair once and forgot to charge tax and shipping, and I was the only Ways and Means chairman that lost money for the school. So on to things that helped. I did the clothes closet with the help of the entire community for years, and after Saigon fell in 1975 with our first group of immigrants that we so welcome here, we had such a need that year, and it worked remarkably well. And my fellow leaguers, League of Women Voters, I am so proud to serve with those present, my present board, a lot of them are here, and I'm really so grateful. It's really not about me. Somebody told me a long time ago that we should bloom where we're planted, and I've been planted a long time, and because of all of you, I have bloomed. Thank you very much.
I'll help you with that. Now I'd like to pass this job down to one of my colleagues, Dolly Sandoval, last year's mayor.
Good evening. I get to give 2 awards this evening to 2 very deserving honorees that may seem different in their initial appearance, but really epitomize the heart and volunteer spirit of the city of Cupertino. Our next awardee is Buck Cox. Video, please.
Buck Cox never seems to use up his considerable store of energy. He just keeps recycling it day after day. For some time now, Buck has been plugged into the recycling efforts at Northwest YMCA, spending hours converting truckloads of tin, glass, and plastic into hundreds of dollars for the community's undeserved youth. With unflagging energy, he cajoles teens into helping him and serves as agency's cheerleader for the recycling program. When he's not sorting through discarded soda cans and water bottles, Buck can be found in any number of places at the Y, stringing holiday lights, counseling at camp, painting, and participating in the Y Service Club, a group close to his heart. Buck lives and breathes the Y's mission, which explains why he works so hard to expand the range of Y service to other branches of the organization at home and abroad. And this Buck doesn't stop here. Beyond the YMCA, he's often seen volunteering at citywide events like the Diwali and Fall festivals, at crab feeds and Rotary Club functions, and at West Valley Community Services. A resident of Mountain View, Buck even makes time for that community, where he's active in his church neighborhood group and the Museum of American Heritage. Meanwhile, in Cupertino, anyone looking for an alternate energy source knows exactly where to go, straight to Buck Cox.
As you saw, this video highlighted some of Buck's activities, and he's done so much more. If I asked for a show of hands in this room of people who either have worked with Buck or seen him working at a community event, the only person who wouldn't raise their hand probably doesn't get out much. Buck's enthusiasm for promoting programs that help underserved youth, for embracing and developing cultural ties, and for his true respect and love for the programs at the YMCA underscore why he is one of our CREST recipients this year. And Buck, as you heard in the video, doesn't even physically live in Cupertino. But Buck, you are so much of our Cupertino family, and I thank you for that. While you are young at heart, and you have more enthusiasm and energy than people a fourth of your age, you are a role model to all of us. I'm honored to give you this award this evening. And the podium is yours.
I am very honored because I enjoy the things that I do. Partly it's the satisfaction of the enjoyment of the people I work with, as well as the things I'm able to accomplish. It's been the support of the people in my Y Service Club over 28 years here in Cupertino that have made me accomplish the things I've enjoyed doing. And as I say, it's both the satisfaction of what I've done, but also the people I've done it with. I'm very fortunate to be able to work with the people that I've been able to work with and continue to do that made it so enjoyable and satisfying. And I'm very pleased to be acknowledged this way. It was something I didn't know that existed, and it's quite a surprise. It means very much. Thank you very much.
Our next awardee this evening is Diane Keng. May we see the video?
Tapping to the beat of an iPod while texting a friend, watching TV, and surfing the net, most teens today know all about multitasking. Diane Keng, a student at Monte Vista High School, is a consummate multitasker. But her activities are geared towards studies, sports, and improving the safety and harmony of local neighborhoods. For 3 years, Diane has volunteered as a Cupertino block leader, organizing her first block party and neighborhood watch program when she was in 8th grade. Last summer, Diane launched the first youth block leader program at Monte Vista and began recruiting, training, and mentoring fellow students in the Art of Building community. During the school year, 10 new youth block leaders stepped forward. As a dedicated block leader, Diane regularly passes along information from the city that directly affects her neighborhood. It is largely because of her tireless efforts that local children now walk together to school, mothers gather for tea parties, and Diane's neighborhood has become a friendlier place to live. Recently elected state president of a national marketing club for students, Diane now has even more to add to her already packed to-do list. But there's no doubt this expert multitasker will find room for everything: piano playing, badminton team, homework, social outings, and still have time to organize a host of successful neighborhood activities.
Diane is by far our youngest recipient of the CREST Award. First let me just say, Cupertino is so rich with youth and their talents. Youth who go out of their way to volunteer and make a difference in our community. Diane recognized at an extremely early age, as you heard, that building community means getting out nuts and bolts. It means talking to your neighbors, introducing yourself, introducing them to themselves. She did this as an 8th grader. Diane, you've blossomed into a role model, not just for your peers, not just for your neighbors, your fellow block leaders, but for me. And I appreciate that. You're wise beyond your years, and Cupertino is the beneficiary currently of your talents. The fun part, the first time I met Diane, I thought the funniest part was when she came to a block leader meeting here, her mom had to drive her. Between your energy and your mom's smile, you light up Cupertino, and we're so proud to have you active in our community and to have your friends and extended family from across the country here to join you this evening. Congratulations.
So first of all, over my last 17 years, I figured out that I realized that I couldn't be what I am today without the 3 Ps, and that's passion, perseverance, and perspective. And so for passion, it's all due to my great mentors and my advisors. I wouldn't become a block leader if it wasn't for Laura Lee, and I wouldn't be part of California DECA if it wasn't for my California DECA advisors and my Silicon Valley DECA advisors. But most of all, I have to thank Mr. Carl Schmidt. He's actually right there. He's been my advisor since 9th grade, and he's always been there for me for the past couple of years. For perseverance, I wouldn't be motivated to do what I do if it wasn't for my wonderful neighbors who's always been supporting me since 8th grade. Yes, a few of them shut their doors to me thinking that I was selling Girl Scout cookies, but now they're okay with it. But I also want to thank all my friends, especially my close friends who are all here today to support me. They're all over there in the corner. And of course, I have to thank my parents, who's always been really open and supportive and always been there for me. And lastly, for perspective, I have to thank the community for giving me the ability to see an issue from different angles and all that great stuff. And lastly, I want to thank all of you guys for coming and attending today to cheer us all on. So, thank you. Congratulations.
Diane is only a junior. Senior. Well, senior not till your first day. She will be going off to college next year. And Diane, whatever community you move to, we'll be very blessed to have you. Congratulations. I'd like to now introduce to you Gilbert Wong, one of my colleagues on the City Council.
Thank you very much. I know how important tonight is because back in 2005, I also received a CREST Award. And I know that other than attending City Council meetings till 2 o'clock in the morning or being at home with my 2 kids and my wife, being a council member, this is what really is important to me, is awarding these 10 recipients tonight. Tonight, I have the honor to do 2 of them. And the first one is Susan Kwok. And can we roll the tape, please?
Good nurses are filled with a strong desire to offer aid and comfort to their fellow human beings. Great nurses go farther than that. Susan Kwok is a great nurse whose commitment to her profession has led to 15 years of volunteerism for her community. For the past decade, she has been visiting patients at Pleasant View Convalescent Home in Cupertino, helping them write letters, bringing them small gifts, and offering pastoral care through St. Joseph Church. She also brings communion to at least 20 patients at Kaiser Hospital in Santa Clara and volunteers each week at the hospital's memory clinic. At the Self-Help for the Elderly programs in Cupertino and San Jose, Susan takes blood pressure, offers medical-related advice, and teaches her patients how to spot potential health problems. Her training and expertise includes fluency in 3 languages, which enables her to effectively communicate with and console many immigrants confused about the medical system. Married to Patrick Kwok for 44 years and the mother of 6 children, Susan has devoted her life to caring for others. Whether she's nursing or volunteering for the American Cancer Society or Chinese cultural events, Susan never loses sight of who she is. Compassionate, cheerful, hardworking, and skilled. She will always be a great nurse.
I'd like to bring up Susan Kwok. I have an opportunity to know Susan Kwok. I mean, not just as a wife of Mayor Patrick Kwok, but also as a friend. As I was getting involved in the community back in 2005, I was thinking about running for city council, and she's kind of reminds me a lot about my wife. A person who's really behind the scenes, who wants to give back to the community and doesn't want to be recognized. She's a very quiet person, as you can tell, but someone who is full in her heart. Back then, they asked her that, why don't you talk to my wife and say how wonderful it is to be a council member's wife? And she says, I don't think so. You might hear something different. But I think that she did the right thing because I get to spend 2 more years with my family and with my kids, and I cherish all the advice what Susan has given. But as a professional nurse, giving back to community with a wonderful husband, 6 children, and many grandchildren as we see tonight, it is my humble honor to present this award to Susan Kwok.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you to all of you, to Mayor Mahoney, to the City Council members, and to the award committee for giving me this CREST Award. I know that I don't deserve it, and this is truly an incentive for me to continue doing more volunteer works for as long as I can, and to give back to the communities. Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Susan's too humble. The next person that I would like the recipient is Schmidt. Can we roll the tape, please?
Blend 30 years of finely honed business experience with an engaging personal style and a passion for libraries, and you have Schmidt, president of the Cupertino Library Foundation. Now in his 3rd year as foundation chief, has steered the organization and the Cupertino Library in directions that are producing positive community benefits. He has built and strengthened relationships with the city and county library staffs, with local service groups and nonprofits, and with city government. His unassuming collaborative leadership style led to a $25,000 grant from the Rotary Club and a matching gift from the Friends of the Library. The funds will be used for the library's Teen Room Enhancement Project. Works long hours at leading the foundation. Whether he's driving the first ever strategic planning process or stuffing envelopes, he brings energy and commitment to every task. Quiet and thoughtful, is a former city library commissioner who fits his volunteer foundation duties in between the demands of managing a local startup firm. While his interpersonal skills and business sense have resulted in many successes for the Library Foundation, at the heart of these accomplishments are 2 core values: Eno's love of learning and his understanding of how powerful a library's impact can be on a community.
And Schmidt, if you can come up to the stage, please. I'm very fortunate to have met, when I was a council member, that the council appointed me on the Joint Powers Authority as a board member. And Eno was one of the very first person who gave me a phone call, being a new council member, and let me know about our Cupertino Library service. I can't believe that it's been 5 years since we have built our library coming this October, as well as this community hall. And without the efforts of Eno Schmidt and others, we wouldn't have come this way to have such a beautiful library, a library that is the #1 user in the county. Also, Eno has given tirelessly to help with the Rotary Club to get the teen room set, and it is my pleasure and my humble honor to present the CREST Award to Eno Schmidt.
Thank you for this great honor. Of course, I couldn't be here without the support of my family or the great volunteers that we all work with to have these events occur. Particularly grateful to the great folks at the library, and particularly the Library Foundation. As you saw in the video, we're in the middle of our teen room enhancement campaign, so hopefully you'll all see more of that and come see the new teen room. Thank you.
I'm really happy to see tonight that this whole room is completely full, because we have really 10 great recipients. We still have 2 more left, and I'd like to bring up Councilmember Mark Santoro.
So first, it's my honor to award the second to last recipient, Michael Gottwald. Can we have the tape, please?
Walk a mile in Michael Gottwald's shoes and you'll know what it's like to walk for a cause. Last year, this lifelong Cupertino resident participated in organized walks for 3 different charities: the Arthritis Foundation, the American Heart Association, and the American Diabetes Association, raising a total of more than $13,000 in donations. Disabilities and a heart condition have done nothing to slow Michael down. Next year, he says he'll raise funds for 4 walks. Caring and determined, he is dedicated to living a life of meaning and value. One of the many ways in which Michael contributes to his community is through his strong support of youth sports. A graduate of Monte Vista High School, he gives back to his alma mater by volunteering as a scorekeeper for the school's varsity and junior varsity baseball teams. His love of baseball crosses all leagues and divisions. Not only does he root for both the Giants and the A's, he's also the #1 fan of the Cupertino National Little League. He's thrown out ceremonial first pitches for both the Little League and for the San Jose Giants. Michael also takes an active interest in local issues, faithfully attending city council meetings and offering informed input. The city has honored him for his role in the community, and that's a role he plays with more spirit and enthusiasm each passing year.
First I'd like to thank our video crew. Once again, they've stolen all the great things I wanted to say. Michael, for those of you who don't know, he's an amazing walker. He raised so much money, a lot of it from my fellow council members and myself. I can't believe there's only 3 or 4 walks a year, because it seems like about every other week he's up there. For those of you who don't know, I don't think I've ever remembered Michael missing a council meeting. He's there, he's paying attention to what goes on, he's involved in the community. His love of baseball was clearly covered in that, but he's just tireless. He's a great cheerleader for this city and a wonderful citizen, and he's done amazing things raising money for various charities, and I think you should all congratulate him.
Hold it. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family and my hero and inspiration, my dad, Rudy Gottwald. I love you very much, my friends and supporters and the people that nominated me for this award. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You are all very special to me in my life. I also accept this award in memory of my beloved mother, Lee Gottwald. I miss you very much and love you very much. Thanks, Mom, for everything in my life, your love and friendship. I also accept this award in memory of Gretel Gottwald. I love you very much and will miss you. I also accept this award in memory of Justin Perkins and Chase Rogers, who were also so special to me. And Justin and Chase will always have a special place in my heart, will always be my heroes and inspiration. It is fun to help and raise funds for different charity walks like the National MS Society, the Arthritis Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, the American Heart Association, the Diabetes Association, National Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and ALS, and to find a cure for these diseases. I am also a big supporter and rooter of baseball in Cupertino for Cupertino National Little League. It is fun to support and root for the future stars of baseball. I have supported and rooted for them for many years. I am also the baseball scorekeeper for Monte Vista High School for many years. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Brian Sullivan, Robert Verjoda, and Brooke Ron, and Skip Mueller, and Nick Bonacursey, and Sean Voigt for letting me keep score at the home games and for everything they have done for me over the years. And it's fun to support and root for Monte Vista High School baseball team. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Cupertino City Council, my friends, Mayor Orrin Mahoney, Vice Mayor Chris Wayne, and council members Dolly Sandoval, Gilbert Wong, and Mark Santero, and Sandy James, and Richard Lowenthal.
It's now my honor to introduce the final, last but not least, recipient of the 2009 CREST Awards, Bob Cloke. Please roll the tape.
Just a few months after he retired from his 32-year career as an engineer, Bob Cloke went back to work. These days, though, he concentrates on human lives instead of disk drives. A volunteer at West Valley Community Services for the past 5 years, Bob can be found every Tuesday morning working with clients in the agency's computer lab. He polishes their resumes, helps with job searches, and teaches basic computer skills. Staff and clients remark on Bob's incredible patience and the respect he gives equally and generously to everyone. Bob's volunteerism goes beyond WVCS to a church group in Sunnyvale and to the Santa Clara County Historical and Genealogical Society, serving as treasurer for both organizations. If you thought his volunteer day was over, think again. Bob also takes time each and every week to help a homebound neighbor by shopping and delivering food to her doorstep. A native of San Jose, this retiree shows no sign of slowing down, jumping in to help wherever help is needed. And those at West Valley Community Services are grateful for that, because it means Bob Cloke is once again on the job.
So, I guess I don't need to talk about Bob's volunteering. You've seen about the West Valley, the Genealogical Society, the church, helping his neighbors. I'd kind of like to talk a little bit different about Bob. And Bob kind of epitomizes Cupertino and Silicon Valley. He's a double E, which is maybe why I have got Bob, kind of relate. Bob has 41 patents, which gentleman by the name of Ivan Sutherland, who's kind of an icon in our industry, once told me a patent is the one place where the United States government has certified that you actually had an original idea. They're a lot of work, and they show that there's a lot of innovation and amazing dedication to his craft of engineering. Bob is a double E, worked in the disk drive industry. He designed chips, near and dear to my heart. And then after all of that and his career, he took the time to teach algebra to kids and to volunteer and teach people how to use computers, how to log onto the internet, and things like that. Even though he's a hardware guy, he's lowered himself to doing software. So it's my pleasure to provide the last and final award to Bob Cloke.
My first job in the disk drive industry was on a little company on Tantau Avenue. There were fields on every side of the company. My first boss said, we try to work smart here so we don't have to work so hard. What he was really saying is we have to work smart and hard. But I found that as I start to volunteer, that there's a third part of this triangle we need. And that's to work from our heart, because that's really where it's at. Thank you.
Well, I'd now like to turn over the closing to our Honorable Mayor, Mr. Mahoney.
Well, before I close, I would like to have us all give one more round of applause to all 10 recipients tonight. So every year in our Rotary Club, and you've heard a lot about Rotary tonight, the president gets to pick a theme, and our president this year picked membership, partnership, and fellowship as the three themes. And those are nice themes for Rotary, but I think tonight the 10 people that you saw up here really demonstrate citizenship, leadership, and yes, friendship that makes Cupertino such a great city. So thank you all for being here, and we're done.